say howdy all here and get a response, get the correct response.
Thank you all so much for coming down to our digs down in Texas. I believe we might be saying hi to somebody in a second.
I love this one leading him on like this way, honey, this way, right? Yep. One more step.
Good one, talk. Good one, talk.
We're going to do a little...
Samantha Smith, Jared Morgan, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, is somebody leaving? No, nobody took a photo. No, none of those cameras are actually working.
Lovely. Good meeting you, Samantha, for now.
We're on the road to this thing, all right. It's good to be here with you guys, or y'all, as you
To the bene. But we have some guests that we brought in the audience. I don't know where they are, but the OG Ackles is, and the OG Padaleckians is.
I would tell you that we're going to be on good behavior because our parents are in the crowd, but I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
Not gonna happen. Our buddy,
What is it, better to ask for forgiveness than permission?
yeah, that is such bad forgiveness and ask permission.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. Our buddy Tank is here for those who have
How many people in the audience here have never been to Austin, Texas? Okay, well, welcome to Dante's Inferno. I would say I hope you got out and saw this beautiful city that we love, but I kind of hope you didn't because you might not make it. This place is amazing and has so much beauty to offer. So if you do want to, get out and about, make sure the sun's down. Did anybody see the bats? Pretty cool, isn't it?
Bring water. So, anyways, thrilled to be here. Y'all waited a little bit. Thank y'all so much. We had some pretty popular people here who had to make flights, and everything got delayed a little bit. So, thank y'all. Love y'all. And let's get to questions. I see somebody over there. Is this Mr. Monkey himself? Is this the monk? Hey, gals and guys. I worked with this man right here for every single day on Walker, as did Jensen. So give it up for Monk.
I've ever been to, and every single person I've seen has had just stars in their eyes. Everyone's having such a wonderful time, and it's so lovely to be in that environment. So thank you for the first commission experience. My stars on Mr. or Mrs. Pac-Man.
It's above 100,000.
I believe that's true. What was it like working with the Walker group? I've heard they're pretty decent.
They're more than decent. They were a family from day one. Always will be a family. Even this bearded guy named Monk. I had a hell of a time.
I was fortunate enough to come in and actually direct an episode, which, for somebody who didn't have the relationship with the crew like this young man did, that was the first time that it was something I said, I don't know why we're leaving. What is it? Oh, Jeff. I will just quickly say this. I had only ever directed supernatural episodes of television, and that was obviously with a crew that I knew very, very well. And so I knew that I had a real great support team behind me that wouldn't let me fail. Coming on to a show where I really only knew one guy, well, I knew a couple of the cast, but I really only had a relationship with the one guy. I already knew, from knowing this man for so long, the tone that he would have set with the cast and crew would have been such an incredibly welcoming, embracing environment, and it was nothing short of just that. You guys were not only incredibly talented technicians and professionals, but you were also fun, you were lively, you were and welcoming to a complete stranger, and I'm so thankful for that experience. It was amazing.
Love you, guys. Ditto. Thank you, Mom.
Hi, my name's Jenny. My question, you're both about to embark in roles, or maybe already started, I'm not sure, where you're playing California-based law enforcement or I don't know what fire is. Is that law enforcement? Anyway, you're both
Well, you've done your research.
you're both about to embark on these roles. Well, there's a couple Texans playing Californians, so how does that feel? And you like your roles and anything you can share?
I'll start. I have not started filming it. I start on Tuesday. And Ackles can attest to this, having, we both lived in California for a while. No one's really from there, so I'm kind of hoping, like, yeah, sure, my character lives there, but was he from there? I'm going to push back. Because he's in Texas. There's this thing, and Jensen knows, I know, Jeff knows, the gang knows. When you do a new role, you have to, if you have tattoos, you have to get them approved by the tattoo artist to be shown on screen. Otherwise, they have to cover them up. And so, some of my tattoos that are Texas related, I made sure to get approved. And the others, I was like, good, they didn't call me back. So I don't know. But yeah, living in California doesn't mean you're from California. So I don't know. It's gonna be hard to hide the Texan in this badge.
Very similar. For Countdown, which I begin filming in about 3 weeks. No, it is a kind of a ragtag assembled task force of people from a variety of different backgrounds. So it's not like these people are from there. It's just where they've been called to serve for this particular situation. So yeah, I think keeping that in mind, like that then opens the door to kind of let me bring whatever I need to bring to the character and find it on my own as opposed to it being kind of dictated and laid out for me. Which is great because being given that kind of freedom as an actor, it just kind of it allows us to play a lot more. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. As far as any spoilers, no, I can't give you any of that. I wish I could. But I read a few of the scripts. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be fun. There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to do. So excited to get started. Thank you.
Hi, I have two questions. How did you feel when you found out that you were getting the car?
We both got a car.
You did?
Well, I'll ask you a question. When I found out I was getting a car, my feeling was, hell effing yes. He deserves it. He deserves all of it. So I was thrilled. Yeah.
Well, there's a second part of that. He was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, instead of it going to some warehouse in California, like, Warner Brothers lockup and collecting dust or sitting under a tarp, he was like, yeah, absolutely. But I'll take one too. And so I like to say that we saved 2 babies. We had about 6. What else was that? But there was one, two, and three. The third one being the stunt car. So it was like that roll cage. You had like skid plates on the bottom and had high performance things on it that allowed it to be really kind of beat up and driven in stunt ways. One and two were the ones that he and I spent the most time on. And so those were the two that we luckily got to take home with us. So they are now. One of them is downstairs, upstairs, where are we? Somewhere around downstairs.
In some stairs.
That's his. And yeah, and mine was in New Jersey recently. They are alive and well and being cared for. And the door's still sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Howdy.
Hi, my name's Charlotte. I'm from here. I live in Round Rock, so not far away.
All right, Round Rock.
So I'm an elementary librarian, and so I love all things children's books. Was there a book that, growing up, that you just absolutely loved, or is there a book now that your kids just absolutely love and want to share with you?
Great question, and thank you for being a librarian. So my son Shep is here. He's 10, and I think about 2 weeks ago I bought him the modern versions of Choose Your Own Adventure, which are accessible. I loved the R.L. Stein and Christopher Pike and things. And I love Theodore Geisel, also known as Dr. Seuss.
I don't know now. I didn't do my research for this one. No, there's been a lot of books. My kids are super into like graphic novels right now. They read them just ferociously. It's a lot of fun. So I get to go in there and I get to lay down and read them with them and change the voices. So we have a lot of fun doing that. But I recently found, my wife has all of her like vintage books. They're vintage now, but when she was a kid. No, they were vintage then too. Listen, like Soldier Boy, I love a good vintage. The Berenstain Bears. So I read those when I was a kid, and I just started rereading those to my kids. Every now and then I try to pop those into the evenings, and it's like literally a walk down memory lane for me. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, thank you for what you do, because I know that our school librarian has been very influential on my kids, and I was not a big reader growing up. I'm still not, and that's one thing that I kind of wish I had developed, and I'm watching my kids develop it in front of my eyes, so it's great.
Well, you have to find the right book.
That's what I hear.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm from New York, first time in Austin. And I was wondering, so in addition to the flannel and the fed suits, both of your characters get some fun, silly little outfits throughout the show. What's an outfit that you really wish you could have worn that you never ended up in?
I think I would have looked pretty good in Laterhood. That's great.
I'll take it from me. That was not.
An outfit, what's really funny is that I truly don't think about the outfits. I don't. Other than like, really, flannel and Carhartt in the summer? Like, come on guys. Or like we're doing a stunt sequence in suits? Come on guys. I think over 300% episodes, I got to wear a lot more than I liked to wear. So I don't know if I have an answer to that question. other than I got to wear more than I like. And I do still have the Whisker suit. It's in storage. They bust it out. He's got some cool stuff too if he's willing to share.
I'll say this, in the script, there was, we had this scene, and we were supposed to go undercover, so we were supposed to put this outfit on, and the outfit was sweats, like just sweatpants, like sweatshirts, sweatpants kind of thing, some athletic. I wish I had worn that, because my dumb idea was to, if we were going to do a gym teacher, he should look. And now that outfit has haunted me now, ever since I had that stupidly bright idea.
We have two in the room.
We did. Yeah, that was not scripted. I was like, go with me here. I've got an idea. And that was entirely modeled after a coach that I had in middle school. Yeah, that was, I probably should have just gone with the sweats.
No!
Well, it's too late now. It's done.
What outfit would you want the boys to wear?
She instantly goes, no!
That wasn't a yes or no question.
I should have expected this, and I did not. What about, absolutely nothing, swimsuits, deep diving adventure,
Oh, diving is like with the giant copper helmet and the...
I was thinking
I like some vintage.
goes to the pirate ship, who's like popping a whole whirlpool, you gotta go diving.
I will say, we went back in time quite a bit, and Dean did quite a bit, and, got to do like the 1940s gangster, got to do, Old West cowboy. I mean, there was a variety of stuff. I wish I had gotten to do with like Jack Sparrow. I wish I had gotten to do. We never got to do pirates. I really feel like that would have been fun. Because I know what a pirate's favorite letter in the alphabet is.
I was teeing him up. Thank you very much for your question. And apologies to everybody.
You know what a pirate's favorite rating on a movie is?
R.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one right. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi guys, my name is Amber. I live in Huttos. Hippos, right? It's everywhere. If you've not been to Huttos, there are something hippos everywhere.
I've been to Hutto. I didn't know there were hippos.
Yeah, you can paint them.
Pay attention.
You can paint them for every one. So
Can
if you
someone-
want to shot it, like across the chest, you can paint your hippo and have that.
You guys taking notes? Yes.
One of the themes that in Supernatural that I resonate so much with is family don't end in blood. And I lean into that a lot because my parents, and I grew up in a small farming community in South Dakota, they really modeled that for me to think about, when you go out in the world, you can look to make people that are your family. And my question is, I know your kids are young, but what are you doing to kind of help get that idea so they can start thinking about that when they go out on their own journey, that family don't end in blood?
It's a great question. And a lot more legit and serious than I thought it would have been with the hippo Hutto. Okay, no, recently I read a book that I love, and one of the lines the author talks about seeing people as people, not as things. So the idea that, this isn't a waiter, this isn't an actor, this isn't Hutto Hippo Amber thing, whatever. But seeing them as people, not as things. And I think that's the way true relationships start. Meaningful relationships is seeing somebody as what they are. Like, hey, you're a person. You've had your highs, your lows. You'll have more highs and lows. And ideally, they see you the same way back. And you can go, okay, I see your regrets, but you're a person. We all have them. I see what you're proud of. And great, good for you. Let's focus on that. So I think seeing people as people, like Jensen and I both, a lot of us had the chance to know, like big time celebrities or big time businessmen and women. And at the end of the day, they're just people. You know, they have their nightmares, they have their concerns, they have their worries. And I think a lot of us, I would say all of us, probably, have something deep inside us that wants to be seen, not as like actor or librarian or barista, but like outside of what I do or what I look like or what you do or what you look like, I'm just a person. You know, I was a kid once too. And so I think that's the start of a good relationship, is going to be vulnerable. And so I hope that Chevy, wherever you are, buddy, and his older brother Tom, oh there he is, his older brother Tom and his younger sister Odette, see people as people.
I just like to say the same, you know, I think what you're is that, you know, the family that you're born with is your family, but the friends that you choose, or the friends that you have are the family that you choose. And so it's all family. Yeah.
Thanks a bunch. Hi there.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm from California. Dusty, Jane, and I came here for our 30 birthday.
Oh, nice.
It's a good time to do that, Ed.
I wanted to ask what your favorite or most successful prank on set was, because in the previous panel, Jeff told us some prank stories, but I wanted to hear from your perspective what the story of your favorite prank or favorite reaction from the person who's getting pranked was.
My favorite prank that I ever pulled was not successful at all. I know. Jim Bieber, Bobby Singer, was laying in a hotel bed, and he and I are at the end, hospital bed, he and I are at the end, and when it was on his coverage, I reached under the sheet and started squeezing his big toe as hard as I could, hoping he'd break. He didn't break until they called cut, and he goes, "What the hell is wrong with you, you idiot?" Jim Bieber is impossible to break. That's what came up in my mind.
Yeah, those are, I mean, there's a lot of those. That we weren't so much like elaborate prank planners. The pranks that kind of happened and existed on set were very spur of the moment. We just saw an opportunity to mess with people, and we would quickly try to take it. And it would be as simple as, you know, me being off camera and Jared about to walk into his close-up or something, and I just reach over and flip gears on the camera operator, so that what that happens is when you're doing the wheels, the camera tilts on gears. So it's just like a bike, right? If you flip it into like the highest gear, it'd just be like, and lowest gear moves real slow. So he would have it, you know, like a low gear, and I would just crank it up to the highest gear. So when he would think that he was just doing a little tilt up, it would be like, just all the way up. And inevitably just ruin the take. And then he would look at me and just be like, "Damn it, Eccles!" And the great thing was, he would love it. It'd be his close-up. You'd be like, so it was just completely sabotaging any and everybody that we possibly could at a constant, including ourselves. And I think that was just an environment that we created and existed, and some people liked it, and there were a few that didn't. Misha. Understandably, because he was unfortunately the butt end of the recipient of most of those small pranks. But yeah, it wasn't big elaborate stuff. It was just any and every time we had an opportunity to sabotage. Saboteurs.
I feel like that's the best environment though. And I work as a nurse, and in our department during COVID, when
She's like taking the needle out of the patient. She's like, flatline. I was kidding.
She's getting like missing limbs from the board. Oh God! Ah, kidding.
Wait, during COVID? What?
We're not allowed, so a lot of my coworkers and I would play pranks on each other, like we would put lube on the door handle. Like, call each other and pretend to be like someone giving a ridiculous order. And
Code blue, we need you room 302, and they can't get in the doors, the handles. It's funny. I appreciate you.
Excuse me, you seem sick. I have the antidote right here. It's actually just water. sorry. I did go prank. It wasn't a prank, but we were getting a lot of like robocalls, but with humans. And I got a call, and they got
That's just a phone call.
Spam calls. And so I had some friends over, and my phone rang, and I'm like, I don't know it. And so it rang again, I'm like, same number, I don't know it. It rang again, and I was like, maybe it's an emergency, I'll just listen. And so I answered, and I go, hello? I'm like, hey, we'd like to tell you about, ARP or whatever. And I was like, hey, shh. I got the code. Listen, it's Dylan, but there's blood everywhere. But do you want to say, like, no, you said the code sentence. I believe it's you. What the body? Which I'm not. My job here is done. I didn't call back. So, yeah. But thank you. Happy 30-30. I hope you all have a great time. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jose. I'm from Laredo, Texas. And my question to you, it's more of a two-in-one question. What are your guys' go-to Whataburger order, and what would be challenging?
I know my go-to. I just got it the other day. It's a double meat, double cheese, or a triple meat, triple cheese, with fries and a vanilla milkshake. I think Sam would go with grilled chicken breast, maybe a taquito or something, maybe some fries. No, he would do fries. Sam was boring. Awesome.
I think Dean would go for the triple. I don't share the insanely disgusting appetite that Dean and Jared have. So my order is just your standard number one, the Whataburger, Whataburger cheese, fries, sometimes tots, and I go chocolate milkshake. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jeannie. I wanted to know what your first tattoo was, because mine is supernatural related.
What is yours?
Is it demon laying on my middle finger?
Fast boy.
That was good. Mine was here. Mine was here with Jensen and Jared. Yeah.
Mine was a bird on my shoulder that represents my daughter, my oldest daughter, David. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Hi there.
Hey.
Jared Jensen. My question is, you guys have been so close for so long, what would you say each other's greatest character trait is and why? Maybe an example of what you would say each other's greatest is.
As people,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say this in front of them. I mean, where do I start, honestly? But I'd say one of the things that has been abundantly obvious to me, and I relied on for almost the last 20 years, is he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. Not on a project, not on a person. He just goes like, all right, one step at a time, let's do it. Not that he doesn't get down. I mean, we're all humans. We have good days and bad days. But when the shit hits the fan, I always said he'd be a good, like, Navy SEAL or something. Because it's just like, okay, what's next? I can't change that. Like, what are we doing? Like, didn't you just hear the camera broke? The stage is on fire. He's like, all right, well, can we get something from tomorrow's work? And he's just sort of like, all right, he goes. And that, I don't want to say it's confidence because it doesn't come from a place of like arrogance or some ego. It just comes from, all right, then what can we do? And so it's infectious to go like, well, that guy over there, Jensen, he's still ready to get after it. Even though everything went wrong, everything broke, everything's on fire, he's still ready to carry on, to borrow the name of the episode. So I think that permeates a lot of his life, whether things are great or things are not great. He just goes like, okay, cool, what's next? I can't change that, so what can I do? What can we do? And he's not one of those like drill sergeant, like, hey, I'm gonna do it, you better do it. But you see him doing it, and you're like, well, if he can do it, then maybe I can too. So it's a very hopeful attitude that I really appreciate.
There are many, so I will pick one. And one that I admire, and I wish I had more of is his appetite for knowledge in the things that he becomes even remotely interested in. He can take a subject, any topic, and wonder about it, and he doesn't continue to wonder very long. I just kind of sit in that wonderment for a while. I wish I knew more about that. Oh well. Jared dives deep, and almost in just an insatiable appetite way of wanting to know more, and that zest for knowledge and life is inspiring, but it's so unique and powerful for somebody to have that and have that drive to want to know so much more about so many different. I mean, the guy is insanely intelligent in a way that I always knew he was smart. I always knew he had a really great head on his shoulder, but shoulders. To just stunningly muscular. So, but he gets an interest in something, and he digs in so like amazingly in any subject. I mean, if it's academics, if it's wanting to know about, like, I'm always like, hey Jared, what supplements should I be on? Because I know he knows all about it. Or hey man, looking for a book right now. What are your recommendations? And he'll give me 14 recommendations. Like, he just has, his brain works in just such a brilliant way that I've always been in awe of how he's able to do that and do it consistently. You know, he doesn't burn out, he doesn't tire out with this zest that he has for wanting to know more about life. And it too is infectious, and I wish it was more infectious. I wish I would be infected with it completely, but I get a little bit of it, and it's inspiring for me to want to just know more and learn more and have that desire for knowledge the way he does. It's really, really impressive, and I think it's had an amazing impact on his life and the way that he can relate to so many different. You put him in a room with anybody, and he will have a researched, knowledgeable way of communicating with just about anybody and everybody on almost any topic, and that to me is just incredible. So, and again, that's one of many things that I could say, but that one just popped in the front. Thank you.
For Dean, I feel like the big one is family with kids, and for Sam, I feel like it's romantic relationships. Is there any...
Wow, Angel. You sure your name isn't Zealot? I thought Dean had great relationships with kids. I thought he had a bad relationship with Reebok.
Any relationship that you wish that Dean had with a child, and is there any relationship you think Sam would have romantically throughout the show?
I think Ruby was pretty hot. I'll start. I don't wish that Sam kept a romantic relationship with anybody. I mean, if there was a character, I know who I would hope Sam ended up with, but I don't think that's the story that I was most interested in telling. I think it can live in our imaginations, you know, forever. Yeah, I think Sam's story for the life that he had for those 15 years, and then when I got to live for however many years after, was told properly, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just going kind of filing through the different kid relationships that Dean, or the encounters almost that, and I'm trying to think of I know that there were, yeah, Claire I think is probably the obvious. Ben was early on, and my daughter. Although I don't know how great of a role, a father figure role model Dean would have been. I think Dean is more of that uncle role model, and that's just because of I think how he was wired. You know, I'm not sure that he would have been able to give the kind of fatherly love to a child in the way that they really needed. But I think that he would have been able to protect that child and would have been able to teach that child survival skills in a way that I think would help the kid, you know, grow and stay alive. But I don't think that he possessed the skill set that a father truly needs.
That's really funny, man, because you said uncle, and this is your question, not mine. But my like heart answer in my head, the relationship between Dean and a kid that I would have loved to have seen more was Dean with your nephew. Hey Dean, here's your Uncle Dean. Dean, don't.
Season 16.
Don't do it. Thank you so much. How's it going?
My name is Housemaid.
Yeah, housemates. Yeah, Shay!
We came here for her 50th birthday, and she is a day younger than Misha.
Happy birthday tomorrow. Very cool.
So, Jared, you've been in so many amazing things, and you're doing, obviously, Supernatural. But Gilmore Girls, I cannot wait for the next season. But I wanted to ask, in all of your different roles, your different experiences, how do you pick your next project? Like, is there a specific line or a new challenge you want? Like, how do you say yes? No, I'm not doing this. Like, what sparks your interest in it next?
That's a great question. I'll start. Usually it starts with an email from my accountant.
I was going to say we get an email from our agent that says they have a budget and they want to hire you. I'm like, all right, when do I start?
It's like, what did we spend in the credit cards last month? Okay, I'm taking jobs. Okay. That's a great question. And I think, I'll say this flat out, just having, been on Supernatural, Gilmore, then Super, then Walker, and not having really signed on to anything officially until Fire Country, that was, and I spoke for many years, and I think people thought I was kidding, but I think the way I would love this structure in my career, if I can, man plans, God laughs, but like working with people I enjoy. Max has been a buddy, Max Larry has been a buddy of ours for damn near a decade. He's awesome. Great guy, great actor. And he was down in Austin, he and his family were down in Austin for the Country Music Awards. And they were gonna leave the night of, and they're like, hey, you're in town? I was like, yeah, so they stayed next day to come hang out. And we talked about like working together. At the time, Walker had not yet not been picked up. So it was still kind of like we've had those conversations with Max for years. Like, dude, it'd be fun to work together. It would be fun to work together. And so when Walker did not get picked up, Max reached out and was like, dude, I'm so sorry. You want to come play in Vancouver? And I was like, oh yes, I'd love to come play in Vancouver. Or like Kripke, with me and with Ackles, obviously, Soldier Boy's a giant role. And for me, I'm not going to play a Soldier Boy style character where I have that much to do, but Kripke was like, hey dude, so about Walker, like, you want to come play in Toronto? Like, I'd love to get you and Ackles and Jeffrey Dean together on screen again. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to work out, but I was like,
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. He goes, you know that scene with Rob? He's like, yes? He's like, yeah, okay, I'll go right. I was like, go right, go right. Yeah, so I think right now I'm kind of in a place where I'd love to work with, I think to Monk's point, who we met earlier, the last 20 years of my life, I've worked with people that I enjoy and love, that I would gladly hang out with in the mornings or in the nights, during the day, at work or at play, and I think it'd be a tough pill to swallow to just go be on some show with somebody that's not the best person or the happiest person on set or off, and so I hope I get to work with people that I really enjoy telling fun and new stories. Yeah.
Not entirely dissimilar from what Jared said, that we've been very fortunate enough in our careers to get to a point now where we do kind of get to not pick and choose and certainly not dictate, but just have a little bit more kind of say in maybe what comes next. And we are fortunately enough getting options to do maybe a couple of things so for me now it is it's really about finding projects that sound like they can be successful. Like you don't want to put a whole bunch of energy and time and away from your family into something that just is going to go. And so that's kind of the first thing is just making sure that the story and the writing and the characters and stuff all like really line up to have a shot at doing something great. And then the people. It really, for me, it is so much about the people and the personalities and the tone on a set. Because I've been on toxic sets, and I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do that. And I feel like I've gotten to a point now in my career where I don't have to do that. And now I get to find these projects or go work on projects with people that I know and I trust and I have a really good rapport with or a great relationship with or a great friendship with. And that's even more satisfying than just going and doing a job. And so very, very blessed to be able to be in that position. He and I both. It is it is now kind of starting to come to fruition what all of that work has been for, getting us to that point. Because now we're getting to work with people and getting to go up and work with our friends. I just got back from doing an episode of Tracker with my buddy Justin Hartley. That came about by me just texting him during the Super Bowl and saying, hey, get your ugly face off the TV, I'm trying to watch the show, or I'm trying to watch the game. And he was like, hey, you want to come up and play my brother? And I was like, let's go, let's do it, it sounds awesome. And it was. And I happen to know the showrunner of the show because he was the showrunner on Big Sky, which is another reason why I was on Big Sky. That was one of the reasons I did Big Sky, was because I met with Elwood and he and I just hit it off immediately. And he was a fan of my work, and I quickly became a fan of his, and he pitched me his ideas, and I was like, yes, and it just sounded like a really fun environment to be a part of, and so I went into that, had a great experience. Elwood is now running Tracker. He was like, come on up. I'm like, when and where, pal? This new show, Countdown, I've got to spend some time, and we've had a lot of phone calls, a lot of interactions back and forth. With Derek, who's running the show, or created the show, Derek Haas, and a fantastic guy, Dallas native, another Texas boy, out there. So a lot of connections, and just is just a really good person. He's a father. We vibe really, really quickly, and so again. Had that not happened, and had those relationships not been built, and had, I think, the reputation of us not have been established over the period of time that it has, we might be in a different position, but I'm proud of where we are, I'm proud of what we get to do, and I'm proud of the opportunities that are coming our way now because of it.
My name is Jocelyn. I'm like about 6 hours from here. So today's been a long day, it's been good, and I was wondering if y'all have lost the game.
Lost the game?
The Cowboys lose?
It's a game, but it's not a game.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you heard what I just said. I'm winning.
Jocelyn, thank you for the question, but we're the Winchesters, not the Roosters.
What game are you talking about? What?
Okay, the main point is to not think about the game, which is the game itself.
Oh, it's like, okay. Got it. Well, I think we're all still winning right now. Well, yeah, but one bad day is a lot. So we don't do it.
How about this? I've lost, game over, moving on. I could chalk one up in the L category for that.
Yeah, that's fine. How are you? Well, I think the most things are
That's Australian.
I'm trying to do it so she understands. Hola, love. So, I'm terrible at accents.
No, keep going. This is brilliant.
Brilliant. What's the thing we miss most about playing characters? Or, oh, well.
Working with this guy every day.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, it's literally, because we really, we've done some projects prior to it, but we've never really dug into anything at that capacity,
Yeah.
And he and I effectively, learned so much and grew so much, not just as, individuals and men, but as actors and as characters. And when you do that with the same person over and over, day in and day out, you develop just
There's a cohesion.
Synchronicity. There's a synchronicity to it that is rare in this industry.
Yeah, and furthermore, in this industry, A, yes, what he said, but, or and, B, yes and, not no but. So and, especially,
I don't know. So, is that right? That's not right. That's a part, yeah, you just failed, your mom's here.
the English teacher. But I think, especially in the career paths that we have had, always in the public eye, you can be really concerned, whether you realize it or not, what you're doing, how you're perceived. Sam and Dean got to do everything, good and bad, public and private. And so it's like we were asked earlier about writing memoirs, and I was like, well, my memoir would be about like exploring. Some people get it through books, reading, through travel, through food, through friendships. But I feel like Jared got to explore a lot through Sam and commit to it. And again, with Jensen and Dean right beside me, and Misha and the whole gang, it's like I got to commit to something that I would never do, hopefully. I'll never be Lucifer as far as I know, or Sergeant Apocalypse. I hope not, no promises yet. But I got to do it around people I trusted and loved. I got to, ironically, in playing a character, I got to explore humanity around people that I loved and trusted that would treat me the same, left, right, and center. And so I was able to experience a lot of lives in those 15 years.
I can honestly say this, to this day, I have never laughed as much as I did on the set of Supernatural. And I still have a lot of fun on the boys set, and on Big Sky, and on track, and all the things that I've done on water. I'm still lots of laughs, lots of fun. I love the hell out of it. But I have never laughed to tears the way that I used to with this idiot next to me. That's probably right.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Amber. My favorite episode is Sam Interrupted, and I was just curious, what was your favorite part about filming the pudding scene?
So, have we talked about this? Initially, and I think it was never even rewritten. It was supposed to be Sam saying pudding, and he and I read it, we were both like, it's kind of a D thing. And so, I think the script still has Sam going, pudding! You're right. 100% right. I've had a conversation with you. I think if we grab our script, it will have Sam dropping his drawers and saying pudding. But when we were reading it, it was like, that screams Dean. So it's one of those things that we just did on the fly. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
again, choices were made. And we have to live with those choices.
And, you know, it was,
Let that be a lesson to you.
the camera, the frame, you know, the clothing was off camera, but I think I remember realizing in the moment just how committed Jensen was to the character. And the scared look on that poor Gustar's face.
Listen, I commit. When I commit, I commit.
Anything for the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a funny episode. I gotta go back and watch it. Thank you so much, Andrew. Love it.
Hey. Hi, Aiden.
Me?
Wait, are we going drag? Aiden, are we dressing up like girls? No, or are we actually having?
Are we recasting?
We're recasting.
Nice.
Okay. They would never.
Timio and Jen. did have a bunch of different iterations.
I know, I got mine. Ronda Rousey. Snoopy.
No, I'm going Britt Griner. I have a gold medal. You know, she's gold. Remember, so women's national team just won the gold medal. And I think Misha sent us an article about when Brittany was in jail, in prison in Russia, and she finally got out. They were like, how did you spend your time? And Brittany was like, well, me and my friend just talked about that car on Supernatural and what year it was. What? And so, like, speaking of how you can just do something and it makes an impact, we have no idea. And we all helped Brittany while they were in a Russian prison pass the time. So,
Do you have an idea of who you would want to see in the female versions of Winchesters?
what's that supposed to be?
Well, Meryl Streep, right? Because who else? I got you.
Big games.
Always jump to mind because Eliza Mitchell was Dean and Michelle Chapman was Dean.
That's actually, bravo. Thank you very much.
Alright, it's the last question, ladies and gentlemen. So, under more questions after this, this is what is it? The last question. This is the last question. Just one more. Yeah, here we go. Let's go.
Friends, say hi to Delaney from just outside Houston. Just outside Houston, here's Delaney. How are you?
Pretty good. This is my first convention ever.
She's like, and my last.
Then do not mess this up.
Oh, wait, she's got it all typed out here.
Oh, that's a novel.
Okay.
Everybody stay seated. This is not a short question. Just kidding.
Hi, my name's...
My name is Delaney.
Name's plural. N-A-M-E-S. There's not my name's...
This is going great.
That's hilarious.
She'll definitely never come back.
I have two questions. One, were you guys happy with how Dean died? And if not, what would you guys have changed? Or what would you guys have been think that would be the best death?
I'm going to say, yes, I am happy with it.
Yes, I am happy. I think it had to be him going out doing what he was made to be doing what he loved to be doing. But I also think it needed to be in a way that he could stand up.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it
getting sick or getting, debilitated in a way that like made him fall down or be down or on a deathbed or anything like that. I don't think it was as powerful as him actually standing up and looking at his brother eye to eye.
Yeah, and I think
So I was happy with
I think it was part of the magical juxtaposition of the characters because they had done so much. They had killed God, they got to Satan, but at the end of the day, they were human. And they were flawed. And they killed all the vampires, and all the zombies, and all the Riverus and Wendigos. And so the reminder that these people aren't superhuman, they're people. So I think that was a nice way to say it. Okay, and number two, Delaney.
Is there anything you would have changed about how the brothers reacted to past being alive?
To being alive? In heaven?
Which was not fair.
Sam didn't find out, we didn't see Sam find out in heaven that Cass was lying. We saw Bobby tell Dean, but so I think for you, is there a difference? He was like, yeah, Cass helped.
No, I mean, I think it was the realization for Dean that it was, they were all. So he got his heaven. He got his heaven with the people he wanted to be in his heaven. And I think that was, that's why he went for a drive. He's like, all right, well, let's start with baby.
Thank you so much for your question.
Yeah. The last questions. There were really 2 questions if you want to be technical. 2 questions. So everyone's saying the last question. And it continues with a couple of Jensen Ackles musical shows on Monday and Tuesday nights. But for now, that's a goodbye and thank you to Jensen Ackles and Jared Jensen.